Well, good morning, my friends. Welcome to a What If workshop. Today's big question is what if you designed your next 90 days with intention? If you could accomplish one meaningful career goal by the end of the year, what would it be? I think those are things that we need to be thinking about. If you could accomplish one meaningful career goal, it doesn't have to be big. It can just be that difficult conversation. It can be setting better boundaries. It can be building on a new skill. It could just be finishing out Monday Morning Joy in this community and making one connection. Because here's the truth about where we're at today. You got 6 weeks, not someday, not when things calm down. We've got 6 weeks to finish 2025 differently than we started it. And I think that joining this community is one of the biggest things that you could have done. So, but first, I want to talk about why most of our goals fail, because we've all done this narrative or seen this narrative. On December 31st, you say to yourself, next year is going to be different. January 15th comes around, maybe you had a little bit of start, but your motivation sort of fades. February 1st, we're back to old patterns. March, we say maybe next quarter. It's not you, friend. It's not. The problem is we do these goals without the systems in place. We have the intention of doing it, but no accountability. And we start planning, but without reality checks. I can tell you with 1000% certainty, I have planners from previous years. Yes, I am that person who saves their planners because I doodle in them and like to just go back and look at things because my brain doesn't remember it all. But I know for a fact there have been some years where there were 6 and 7 huge big goals. And as age has come, wisdom has as well. And small, much more meaningful little triggers that are going to help us move the notch is what's going to work. Waiting for January isn't necessary. You can start today. So I want to talk about the power of saying 90 days. 90 days might feel like a really big number, but it's a magical number for a couple of reasons. One, it's long enough to create that real change. You can do so much in 90 days. The planner that I use, the Savor Beauty Planner that I've talked to you all about before, it's set in 90 days, 12-week increments, 3-month buckets, depending upon where you start. But it's short enough to maintain your focus. It's also aligned around business quarters if you're someone who is aligned with a traditional business sense. It creates realistic momentum during the holidays and gives you some flexibility to adjust as you go. So maybe let's pivot and shift that question into what could shift in your career in just 12 weeks if you were intentional about it. That's what we're talking about designing today. So let's think about intentional versus reactive planning, because most of us are in this reactive state, responding to what shows up, saying less to everything, or saying yes to something that someone else finds as urgent. We're just trying to survive the holidays. I'm done trying to survive. I really just want to put my boundaries around what it is that I'm doing and move forward. You start thinking, well, it doesn't matter what's going on right now. Let's just start fresh in January again. And so the cycle repeats itself. Intentional planning, this is where I want your brains to go, is where we choose what matters most to us. That's going to be different for every single person. What matters to me does not matter to you. And that's okay. We're all at different life stages. We all have different types of priorities. We all have different holiday traditions. And for some of us, the holidays are really hard. So maybe you are wanting to just work through the holidays because that works better for you. But intentional planning means that we are making meaningful progress. We want to finish strong and start strong. That reactive planning really leads to exhaustion, my friends. And the other one Our intentional planning is going to lead to fulfillment. So let me talk with you about a couple different, and I'll share some of these in the network, in the community, so that you all can see those. These are goal setting frameworks that actually work. I know that we have educators in our community. I am one. I want you to stop thinking about SMART goals for yourself. I think SMART goals are fantastic. It's what we need to do from a measurable standpoint to be able to demonstrate in higher education that we have the students have accomplished something. Friend, you're not a student. You're just a person. You're just here trying to learn and how to figure out how to make yourself just a little bit, 2% improvements. So here are some other frameworks that you can think about. The one thing framework, it's just what it says. What's the one goal that if you accomplished it, it would make everything else easier or unnecessary? Second one, the 80-20 rule. Which 20% of your effort is going to create 80% of your desired outcome? So what can you spend about 20% of your effort on that's going to achieve your greatest outcome? This next one is life-giving if you can do it. It's very difficult. Sometimes you may not even have permission to do anything, but let me invite you to use the subtraction method. What do you need to stop to make room for what actually matters? You all have been going through Monday Morning Joy. You've been looking at where your energy is, what your core values are, your little experiments that are happening in that third week. We're now in the fourth week of Monday Morning Joy. Thinking about what can you remove so that you can start making room for your values. And that last one, the fourth different type of framework is called the values filter. And so does the goal that you're working on really honor your non-negotiables? Remember, you need to have some of those non-negotiables. What are the things that you're looking for? So pick one of those frameworks and really focus on that for this week. So the one thing, 80-20 rule, subtraction method, my favorite, the values filter. But let's sort of break down, what does the next 90 days look like in this realistic space? So at the time of this recording, we are currently in the middle of November. We've got one more week, the final week of November into Thanksgiving. So maybe you're going to start to think about what this goal could be, because what I want you to do is in those first 4 weeks, weeks 1 through 4 throughout December, is to establish your foundation. What is that one goal? How do you identify the obstacles and the support that you need? So obstacles that are going to get in your way, support that you need to move it forward, set up your accountability systems, and create holiday boundaries. Work, life. This is the end of the year. If you have celebration time, friends and family, travel time, maybe it's just, this is the end of the year, guys, and this is where I'm at. Because I know that we all don't celebrate the holidays the same. I also know that the holidays can be a really tricky time, but create what those are for you. So that's weeks 1 through 4. Because of this foundation, you can now move into January with some momentum. You've started with your consistent habits, you're tracking your progress, you are adjusting with what's working, and you're celebrating those small wins. Man, doesn't that feel good? Just those little things. You're focused on one thing at a time. And then by February, we're in the last 4 weeks of that 90-day cycle. Remember, we're going to just continue this over and over again to really deepen the practice that you have decided to use. Measure what the impact has been on your life and start planning your next 90 days. Guess what? In February, we'll do another one of these. And really reflect on what shifted. I think for those of you who have gone through Monday Morning Joy, you are seeing that reflection is so key. So key. So 3 months, 3 phases, 1 meaningful goal. I do want to address the holidays because they're hard. They shouldn't be hard, but they are hard because we all don't have the same boundaries that are set up. And so, but what I want you to think about is the fact that you will not be as productive as normal. You need to think about what happened last year or what happened in the last season of holidays, and making sure that what does work is to lower your expectations, protecting 1 hour a week for this new goal, maybe using your downtime really strategically and setting some boundaries. I need you to think about how going into the holidays and working on something that they're hard to navigate that change. The goal really isn't perfection. It's never perfection. It's the momentum to get you into the next year, and we can start it whenever we want. So let's talk about how you can hold yourself accountable for 90-day goals. This is why you're here in Olive Groves. The community matters. Going it alone allows you to skip, allows you to just quit. Nobody's going to notice. Harder to celebrate your wins if you're doing it on your own. Would love for you to share in the community what you're working on. So going together really helps to create some built-in check-ins to keep you honest. You can even create a post in the community and then star it for yourself or bookmark it for yourself and come back and say, hey, this is where I'm at on this. This is where I'm at on this. We're going to celebrate you. The emojis, the gifts, the confetti, all the things are going to happen. And so inside of Olive Groves, you can have that community space to share your progress. Coming back to these What If Wednesday workshops, showing up on Sunday night, getting ready to set your intentions for the week, just to hold yourself accountable. You don't have to do hard things alone. And it's even harder if you're doing it alone. And so I want to shift into, okay, Heather, you're talking about all of this planning and all of those things, and that makes me feel a little bit overwhelmed. I'm really not ready to start. Thanksgiving's next week. Okay, so think about designing your 90 days together. On Thursday evening, December 11th, from 6 to 9 p.m. Central Time, I am offering a Just Start Planning Playground workshop. And that might sound a little bit silly, and what is a planning playground? Well, friends, this is my bread and butter, and I love it more than anything. I am going to bring my past planners just to show you, because you will laugh at some of them, and just to show you the ridiculous goals that I set for myself in the past, and how I have moved into a much more, hey, 90-day strategy here. We can't start at the beginning of the year and think it's going to be finished. But during that time, we're going to clarify your one meaningful goal. We're going to map out that next 90 days together, identify those obstacles that we've already talked about, but are specific to you. Figure out what accountability systems work for you. Even if it's just keeping a note on your phone. If it's a quick check-in, sending a chat message to a friend, hey, this is where I'm at this week. They like the post, you move on. This does not have to be complicated. Then we are going to create those boundaries during the holiday and leave with a clear, actionable plan. So I'll put the link for that in the replay here. $97 for those 3 hours. Those of you who are annual members, this is included in your membership. Got a promo code for those who are already monthly members. But this is my goal is to really get other folks in here to show them a little bit about what we do here. And so we're going to have 3 hours of live planning. This is an active working session. This is not Heather talking at you. This is an active session. We're going to have a workbook for you so that you can finish this year strong. This workshop is going to give you permission to just start. That's why I need to just start. Planning doesn't have to be this overwhelming thing. I'm going to show you the notebooks and things that I have bought, and it is embarrassing to even show you all the things. And really what actually works is literally just a notebook with a piece of paper, and you just write down what you're doing. So, but I think what it's going to give us is a actual personalized plan for you, that you have assigned yourself the time to just work through it. So One more thing that I want to talk about there, and then we will wrap this up and talk about what your action steps are for this what if session based around 90 days. So the planning playground is for you if you are tired of saying January is my resolution, they fail by February. You want one clear goal instead of this great big list. You need accountability to actually follow through. P.S. Everybody does, just so you know. That kind of accountability can be different, but everyone does. You're ready to finish the year strong and not survive it. I'm not talking about grind mode, working so hard that we accomplish 7,000 things. No, no, no. I want you to finish 2025 feeling like you are ready to move into the next year and you feel content with where you're at. That's what I want. This is for women who are done waiting for those perfect circumstances. We're just going to start. So if you're watching the replay of this, I promise this is for you. So before the year ends, whether you're doing it with me in the community on December 11th or not, is what is your one meaningful career goal for the next 90 days? Write it down, be specific. Just write it down. Not how you're going to do it, just what is it that you want to do? Maybe think about what is your biggest obstacle. That's where we're at in the first, maybe start today. Think about what that is. What is your biggest obstacle? And then I want you to choose your accountability method. Again, start today, tell someone, weekly check-ins. We do Sunday sets in the community if you want live accountability for that, or get ready and join us on if you need a start date. Join me on December 11th. Don't wait for January. We're going to start right now. What is happening in the community at the end of the year? Friends, I could not be more excited about it. So I am moving from, I'm adding on Instagram, then I'm going to start posting some things and interacting with folks. And just to be able to share in a different type of platform. I've been on LinkedIn for a little while, posting some things here over the last 6 weeks, and I'm still going to be in LinkedIn. It's a different type of audience. But I think that Instagram is a little bit more playful, and that's sort of where we're at. And so if you have not connected with me yet, Monday Morning Joy is my Instagram handle, and then Olive Groves also has a page. And so we're going to start posting there. But the biggest thing that you may or may not have seen inside the community is the roots. So there is a component of the community called the roots. These are what you have been experiencing as a member of Olive Groves. Okay, through Sunday sets, through What If Wednesdays, through Humans First Fridays, you have felt what makes this community different. And in 2026, we're going to go deeper into the philosophy behind the roots of what I feel like is personal growth, professional development. I really feel like this is more geared toward personal growth, but it is attacking women that are in career fields. So you are going to see a deep dive into these 3 core components. Again, if you're in the community, you've already seen these core components: curiosity, authenticity, and community. And you may think you understand what each of those words mean, but how they apply to you as a human being and the great, great value that they can offer you as you are moving through this next phase of life, going through whatever your next chapter is, because you join this community for your next chapter. So we're going to explore these 3 different concepts. I've got tools and frameworks, again, to really ground you in your goals and what matters. We're going to deep dive into each one of these roots and how they can transform whatever your next chapter is, and really create the community that's built on those. So this is also why Olive Groves is increasing price to $79 a month. So if you have friends that have been thinking about it, we have founding member price through the end of the year, but we're going to start digging in deeper in the coming year. Founding members, your price never changes. $49 a month, locked in for life, because you all have been here from the beginning and helping to create what this is and adjust when I forgot to open up the final week of Monday Morning Joy. Thank you, Julie. So in December, we're going to start previewing some of the routes and those. I'm going to integrate it into some of our regular programming. But I wanted to share that with you all because I don't want you to wait. And if you've got friends who you think would be a great member here, or you have a colleague, or you think that this programming would be good at your place of employment, let me know and we'll pick it up and we'll take it over there. So, the real question is, what if you didn't wait for January? Just start. We're going to spend these last 6 weeks intentional in the community. You're going to take that goal. You're going to finish strong. You're going to start 2026 feeling really good. So I appreciate your time today. I am ecstatic to hear what your goals are. Your next 90 days can start right now. So let's make them count.